All right, welcome back, ladies and worms. We got today is a 2008 60E, 65E. We'll see if it's got the 5 pinion planets. I don't think so. I think it's just a standard 60E. I'm not sure exactly what it's out of, but obviously it's a 4853 with the bell. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm trying to remember what the gentleman said. What was wrong? It's been built before. It had a dynamic converter on it. It's got the different color O-ring. I can see they use like it's like some type of weather strip adhesive or something for the seal. So it's definitely been into before, at least with a new converter. But I mean, they might have changed this doing the converter too. So it doesn't really tell us if it's really been into or not. Hopefully they did some updates to it when they were into it, but who knows? So let me get some gloves, get this crap off my hands. Let's see here. I think he said it has, oh, that's what it was. It's got reverse, but no forward, right? So more than likely input sprag. And if it was built, they probably either left it or put in like an aftermarket rolled the input sprag or something like that. Let's just go ahead and preemptively get the lockup ring off of there. Let's see, I'm gonna need this, I'll grab a couple tools, need that, and this, and that should be all I need. Oh yeah, I need my hammer for the servo. All right, so let's get the bell off here real quick. Okay. Get that out of the way. Let's buzz our pump bolts out here real quick. Get your 13. A little closer. I'm going to keep checking the camera, make sure we can see. It is 2-wheel drive. They left the mount on like always. I don't know. It's weird. People leave mounts on, but whatever. The mount's completely gone. Before I flip it, let's get our prindle off here. Well, it came off nice and easy. Alright, get the servo out before we flip it too. Wow, look at how much travel. I don't know how well it's going to see. Let me try and rotate it, but look how much travel. Let me see if I can line it up right so you can see. There's a ton of travel on this servo. So the band's obviously French fried or something. Let's see if I can do this with a hammer. So you can see, generally you don't want more than 0.100 movement on this. I mean, that's a lot. That's probably borderline. That's right there is about 100. It's probably closer to 200. So it's either got the wrong servo pin in it, or it broke the band, or it's just totally French fried. But yeah, that's way too loose. So, but let's grab that, get that out of there. I mean, I'm going to check it too with my other tool here in a second to see how far off. I mean, it looks like it's really loose to me, but it can be deceiving. So that's why I'll use the tool. Plus, when I go back together with it, I will put a dial on it and stuff and still check it correctly. And I'll add to the pin and then grind the pin down to get what clearance I need, or travel I should say, for the servo pin. Let's see. So standard truck servo, it's correctly oriented. You can tell it's been built into here too, the blue and red, that's not a factory color. And it looks like it's had a transgo shift kit, or at least a modification to the cover here. The transgo shift kit has you grinding it in 3 spaces. It's okay to relieve some of the pressure, but it's kind of, you know, if you're quadruple stacking the springs like the shift kit has you do, then yeah, it's probably a good idea. The bore looks okay, just dirty. Let's grab the pin. And then I'll grab my tool and we'll check and see how much travel. And the pin is, yeah, see, another kind of common issue with these is the pin won't slide out freely. As soon as it hits that, it's stopping right there. Let's see if I can get this set up better. It's kind of like the manual, the shifter rod. It bows out right here and it deforms it. So when you go to push this through, you'll damage this aluminum. Now, I mean, you can even kind of see how it's a little deformed right there. You can come in here with like a file and just sit here and take that little lip off of that, which I'll try and do it, see if it comes off easy. A lot of times they don't. But you'll just take like a file like this and just gently try and knock off that edge. It's kind of hard to do just because of the way it's in here, because you can't really get to, you're kind of blocked by trying to be able to get your file in there. And you can kind of feel the lip on it with your fingers, even through the glove. But I'm gonna put a different pin in it anyway, and a different housing. So I'm not really caring. But if you didn't have one of these and this won't go through real easy like that, it just stops. When you pound that out of there, you will damage the aluminum inside of here and you will get a leak inside of that. And you know, it's a sealed hydraulic pump, basically, the whole transmission is, with brakes and things like that, clutch packs or the brakes, sprags or brakes. So you know, you don't want leakage. That's very bad. Any leakage really. You're gonna have some, you can't get rid of it all just because of high mileage unit. I don't care what you do to it. But you know, you try to mitigate that as much as possible. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna come out real easy. I'll just give it a, yeah, I had to hit it pretty hard to get it out of there. I don't know how well it's gonna, so you can see on camera, if you look real close right in there, it's really hard to see on camera, but it is mushroomed out a little bit. But I need the pin to check with my tool to see how we're looking on what they used, excuse me, when they built it this last time. So, where'd my rags go, man? Oh, here's one. Okay. Get off of there. Okay, let's grab this. I need the clip. The tool's really nice because you can, you know, a lot of people aren't going to have this because this is like, to buy this tool is like $300 to $500 depending on where you find this tool. But you just put it in there like that with the snap ring. You got to get it to sit down in like that. Then you have the sleeve for the pin. Then you can take it and slide it in. Let's see. Well, did I get it in there wrong? I don't think it's traveling through all the way for me. Oh, that's really, I'm missing here. I don't think it's going all the way in. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, because that's, I think something might be really wrong. Let me get that back out here and see how far. So that's basically off my screwdriver. It's a finger. Let's see. Well, that was all the way flush there. Let's see how. Oh yeah, oh wow, it's got a, is it missing the, hang on, I gotta look inside here. Okay, now there's the band. The band's not broke. No, it's really, the band is real relaxed, so when I'm putting the pin back in, it's missing. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. Maybe if I can tap on it a couple times, see if it. Yeah, it's going to get hung up. See, because it's getting under the band pin, it's not contacting it. I have to do this. It's kind of one of the problems with a band. It's because it's a flex band, so it's kind of open too far. I can get my pick in there, but I got to come in like this to grab a hold of the band, but I can't leave my pick in here to hold it to then put the pin in, right? So it's kind of part of the issue. But I'm not, yeah, so kind of a crappy thing when the band is like that. Even using the tool when you're trying to check it tearing it apart, you can't because the band is flexed open, and it is so much so to a degree that the pin's not catching it at all. It's actually going underneath of it. And it's already sitting down. I could, well, I don't know if it's going to be enough if I tip it. I think it's going to be too lax still. Just to, yeah, see, I can't. No, because it's still getting stuck up on the band apply anchor. It's coming in underneath of it. It's just way too loose. But I will be able to do that when I'm assembling it, and it is a 2 groove, and I'll double check what my travel was with my tool, which I do anyway when I'm setting it up. But normally you can put this in, you take your pin, you put it through in that collar, and then you slide this in and it goes all the way in, and then you apply certain foot-pounds to here, and you're looking for it to be right in the middle on the gauge. But since the band is so relaxed, it's not going to work to be able to check it on teardown. So yeah. All right, so yeah, I had somebody show up to the shop. I just told him I'm recording, so he didn't come up and start talking to me. All right, so let's get the mount off this thing. Let's see what we got. Yeah, as you can see, the mount totally doesn't exist. All right, it's a lot of travel there, boy. All right, let's keep going. Zip the pan off here. This one, yep. Wow, that thing is L finished. Looks like complete converter death to me with the amount of aluminum that's in that. Get a little closer without making a big mess on the bench. And look at that. We got a lot of aluminum in this thing. So more than likely converter took a complete trash. Could be in combination with that sprag as well. Fluid is pretty dark. Lots of metal in it, still flowing. Filter is partially clawed with some material. I can see some of the little shinies in it. Look at the back of the filter. You can see all the collection of the metal, aluminum, steel, stuff like that. I get some of this fluid out of the way here. Yeah, it's pretty hurt. Unless it was just all converter and contained, but I doubt it. And it does have an input speed sensor because it is an 07 and up. Just get our solenoid clip off here. Get the rest of them unhooked. Tip it up. Because I'm working on it sideways, I usually have it facing me. So it's a little awkward. All right, we just got to get our lockup solenoid done with the 1/2 inch, or the 13. All right. Now let's move this back this way. Can you see? Kinda. You're a little low. All right, so 1, 2 accumulator. Housing. Let's see when they rebuild it, if they at least put metal in it, if they double stacked it like original. Oh, that's right, original is just a single. I think they changed that in 05, 06. No, it's the shift kit spring. And they always break. That's why I won't run them. So, Transgo springs are notorious for breaking, so. I'm not knocking Transgo, it's just their springs, it's what it does. Every time you see a Transgo kit, you will end up, after it's been in for a while, you'll see broken springs. I mean, I like Transgo stuff, use a lot of it. Not necessarily the shift kits, but a lot of their other stuff. But their shift kits are good. But it is a well-known thing that yeah, look at that. So this was replaced. You can see how hot it got. You can see the aluminum and metal. But this is not OE, so that was replaced. Okay, let's grab the valve body off here and get your 8s. And so this is something too, like the 8s go here, here, here. These 3 spots in this little L. And if you put them in anywhere else, you can lock up the gear train. I see a lot of posts of that online, people posting stuff. And just yesterday, actually, someone had posted they rebuilt their unit, and it's got reverse only. And that's because they had this long bolt, this 8 long bolt, they had it here instead of here. And that will definitely do that. Like if you put it here, here, I think you might be able to get away with there and here. There's a couple like up the middle. I never really checked which ones you can and can't do it with, because you're not supposed to, so. Okay. All right, check the valve body here in a second. Check balls, they're all steel. I mean, you can do that. I run the Torlon. I don't run the steel. Got pretty hot. Gaskets are kind of crunchy. Oh yeah. Crunchy, crunchy. Oh. And they got the, again, I think that's a Transgo instruction. They have you turn this 3/4 accumulator upside down, which I don't do that. I'll block it off, I'll double stack it, shim it, or just run a Sonics pinless. But that's me, you know. Do what you like, what you're comfortable with, but that's what I do. Blue silicone holding the wiring harness. So the wiring harness is original. they've got a bunch of blue silicone goo holding it in. And the silicone will just come apart in the trans fluid. It gets so soft, and then you run the risk of running it through the unit. Let me move this real quick. See if they put anything in here. Yeah, they put it's got the transgo valve in it for there. I still have to vacuum test this whole thing. There's a lot of metal in this thing. The AFL's not hung. 3/4 is not hung. Sequence not hung. Oh. I can feel it with my pick. But yeah, so the valve body I won't know, you know, until I go through, clean it, and then vac test it after it's all clean and dry. And then I'll have to make my modifications to it at that point. Let's get our housing off, or our wiring harness. Where's my 30mm? And it will be getting a new harness, period. Yeah, see, it's just all the blue silicone. I mean, I didn't see any in the unit, but I mean, I don't do that. If I do anything, I'll use JB Quick. It sits up real hard, doesn't come apart, and it's much better to use, really, if you're gonna reuse it. But on a build, I always replace it. Some builders don't. Again, it's like a preference thing to a degree, unless you're, you know, you should, if you're reusing it, you need to check all the continuity for all that stuff. Make sure it's not leaking at the bulkhead connector. If it is, they sell a little seal to replace it, or you can try to reseal it yourself. All right, get this light turned. Wow, so yeah, they didn't line their pump up for crap, not at all. So when they build it, they did not line their pump up correctly, because this should have just popped right out, unless we have like a catastrophic failure inside of there that's holding it up. So you got to get out the pump puller, or otherwise you'll damage the pump. And just use something on there. You don't want it going directly against that. Use like a piece of metal or a socket or something, because you don't want to damage the shaft. Yeah, they just didn't line their pump up very good. Is usually the main cause of that not coming out real easy. And these sensors have been on back order for a long time. The input speed sensor, because you can't change this input speed sensor unless you pull the transmission out. So, and it's all chewed up. It's got metal sticking to it. Definitely needs one. I hope I don't run into that problem again. Like the last one, it took me 2 weeks to get one. Let's see. Check the journals of the pump, stator, get your pick. It's finished. It's got a big groove in it right here. My pick keeps catching on it. It's all grindy there, all the metal in it. That's what you'll see too with that much metal in the unit. That's why when you have a problem, you should stop driving these, because the metal is suspended in the fluid column and it goes through and chews up every bushing, every metal journal where they meet, and you'll end up taking out hard parts like this stator tube is definitely hurt. Let's see, is the pump hurt too? Yeah, pump's hurt too. Oh yeah. So it needs that for sure. Stator and the pump stator body. Looks like our guide got plastic, got superheated because the converter. Because So it needs a pump kit. Let's get the rest of the vanes out. I don't see any damage to the vanes. Let's look closer at the slide. Oops. My screwdriver out of here. Man. The pin's bad. Again, it's from all, it feels like sandpaper and a big lip on it. The pump is bad too. Pick's catching on a bunch of grooves through it. Bushing doesn't look terrible. The slide, see the grooving in the slide in there. You can see the chatter marking on the slide surface here. You can see where the metal just ground that ring inside of it in the center of the slide. So it needs a complete pump. Complete. Set that aside. Let's get into the unit itself, into the drums and stuff. Yeah, the band, yeah, see, that's that problem with that servo coming in. See how loose this is? See, my pick just barely catches it. And I can see the material on the band is wasted. So that's why I couldn't get that to check. Oh, well, I got stuff on the band. The anchor. It's all that metal holding it all in there. It's not totally French fried, not as bad as I thought, but it is pretty bad. Big piece is missing. It's not down to the metal yet. You can see where it's been chipping everywhere. And the drum, I'm not even gonna bother. I mean, look at all the hot. So you can see where they use the die grinder on it. It's not new. So they just cleaned it up. I can feel the deviation. That's another reason the band will go bad. It's bad inside of here too from the stator tube. It's all grooved up. Bushing's killed. Metal's killed on the drum. Let's see. Let's take a look. Usually the clutches in here, this is just reverse input. They're usually, very rarely are these hurt. Very rarely. But they can. Oh, that's definitely got hot. Look at the heat scoring on that. Still hanging in though. Not looking too good. Smells terrible. So the 3/4s are going to be annihilated. The drum's cut too. So that's where you get that delayed reverse. I talked about this in the last video. My cushion plate doesn't want to come out because of the cuts down inside here. It cuts this part of the drum and it hangs the cushion plate. So it needs a reverse input drum as well. Check for a leak here. I just need some fluid and we'll back pressure it to see if we got a leak at the input shaft. Let's see what we got. Gotta grab my air gun. Let's see here. Move the foam out of the way. You have to check this hot too, the way I'm doing this. But cold, it's not leaking, it's holding pressure cold. So that's good. Tells us that the shaft is at least intact cold to the drum. Get our washer out of here and our bearing. I already got the bearing out. Remember, they run them usually a 68, not 69. And that's how you set your end play. I can see where the sprag has destroyed the front planet. Before I go any further, if you look down inside there, see this, where this is all worn? That's all ground down right there. That's where a lot of our metal is coming from. Three fours are not terrible. They're not the best. They're probably borderline 100,000ths gap, but they're not totally, completely destroyed. But they're not looking so good. You can see where the sun gear, see, this sun gear is pressed into there like that. You can remove this like it is, but it's come out because of the sprag failing is what's caused that. You just get all this stuff out of here. I know you can't see because it's above the camera. The forward clutch stack, excessive, probably about 80, 90. But I'll get it all out of here and then I'll go over it all. Well, sprag hasn't exploded. So let's see if I can move the camera a little bit. Angle it down so you can see a little better. Let me scooch this over too. Okay. So yeah, our 3/4 stack, you can see where this is old. So that was like that before. They just ground it down and reused it. Probably not flat. You got your hot spotting. This is the 3/4 clutch. Teeth are completely gone. Almost completely gone on the friction. Again, so they reused the pressure plates. They still have the springs in there. They're partially collapsed. They should have replaced these. They're not new. They might have been, but they are definitely collapsed. It's really hard to tell when someone's changed that or not because of the damage to it. And we got our forward pressure plate, which was also grinding on the ring gear, which means it's going to need a front planet and a front ring gear. You can see where it's all ground down. Forward friction, not burnt to a crisp, but not looking too hot. You got the edging, the knurling of the teeth of the friction, indicative of the sprag failing. Knurled again. You might not see it real good, but I can see it on these couple frictions where the teeth are knurled over on their edges, where it's bent over. You can feel it with even through the glove. See if they had it stacked correctly. Yep. Even the over on the engine brake got a little hot. So she got toasty, that's for sure. Let's see how the sprag. The sprag's locking still. You can see the other part that was running on the planet. You can see how chewed up it is right here because it was rubbing down inside of here. So let's see what sprag they got in it. Because this year should have had a single or dual cage, one part plastic, one part metal, unless they replaced it. Wow, they put in some old school. So yeah, they just grabbed a single, this should have never been in this unit either. This is just a single cage SKF sprag that you would have seen in like a early model. They stopped installing these in, I think it was 04, 03, but you would have seen this down to like 96, 97, definitely not in an 08. The 08 would have been a dual cage, one plastic, one metal ring, making it a dual cage. It's destroyed the hub because of how soft this is. You can see how dished down and chewed up that is because that's what was pushing and grinding this. I mean, it gets a sprag regardless to a new BorgWarner dual cage, but the hub is also bad. You see the hot spotting, how hot that got. I won't run this race just because of what it's been through. Or this one, even though it looks okay. I mean, it got so hot, I'm not gonna run the chance to run that. So it needs a input sprag assembly plus the actual sprag itself, new. Let's see if I can move this. Bushing kind of worn out, like I'm expecting to see on all of them. The teeth look okay. The drum itself, you gotta watch sometimes too. It is a little chewed up here. If you can see like a side shot. See that? That's the reverse input clutch getting stuck. That lower steel, that conical steel gets hung and it's spinning because it's reverse input. When you put it in reverse, it comes on first, but it can't. There's that slight delay and it'll actually start dragging this because it kind of wobbles around and you'll end up damaging this drum. You can get away with running this and leaving this as it is. I will not though. It does need this drum because of that. But you can get away with it to a degree, but it's just best to err on the side of caution. In a pinch, you could get away with it. But when you're building it for someone to get paid and it's not your own vehicle and you're not wanting to, you know, if it's your own, you could risk it, right? But you're paying, nah, you're charging, just replace it. It needs replaced. I mean, you can get the housing for like 50 to 100 bucks. As much hard part damage as this thing needs, it almost needs a core really because of the pump. And then these planets, I mean, I got plenty of the planets, but let's see, where's the snap ring at on this little booger? Did they get it in the right spot? It's so hard to see it when it's all burnt up to a crispy critter like this. There, I think there it is. No. Yep, oh man, wow, that's really, of course. I'm a pet peeve, man, when it's upside down. I mean, it doesn't really matter, just when you get to take it out, your snap ring pliers keep slipping off of it. God, like that. Like that. Just fight it, man, sometimes forever. I'll try to get a good bite on it and really bend the crap out of it. I don't care how deformed it gets, I just need to get it off. Oh, you son of a... Man, it's really... Maybe a little back pressure. I'm gonna spin it again. Oh, you son of a... Oh, it started at least. Yeah. I guarantee they had it on upside down. It's chewed up too anyway. That ain't good. Not good at all. The splines are all messed up from the overall end play of it being whack. Ah, this is gonna suck to get out of here, boy. I need something with a little more oomph. See if I can hit it back out, maybe get it past. I need to move some of this so I don't break something. I'll move that back a little bit. God. Boy, it's really stuck in there, boy. God. This thing is a hot mess, man. It should just come out. There's just nothing really holding it. It's the burr on the snap ring groove or a bushing on the output shaft, that's what it is. Oh, broke the planet, that's why. Well, that's gonna be a problem. If I can get that, oh, this is gonna be interesting. So I might not be getting all the way apart, man. Jesus. Yeah, so the planet broke and it was sheared and stuck onto here. This part of the collet was stuck where it sheared off. So yeah, definitely a front planet. Amazingly, you gotta watch that too, because they make different planets and they make different bearings unless you do it as a complete set. And since they broke this, I'm still gonna check it, because you can check. There's two different bearings like this. See that little collar on it up by my thumb? There's different planet sets. There's like 3 really. There's a 5-pin and the 4 pins, but there's 2 different bearings for the 4 and 5 pins. So you technically have 4 plus the earlier style makes 5. And then you have the reaction carrier hubs, this part, not the ring gear, but the hub. You have one that takes washer and one that like this takes bearings. And then you have a different pocket here for this different bearing, how it fits inside of that overall gap here, and the height of it as well. So you got to watch when you're changing a front planet set. You should always try and do it as a set, and especially when you see this type of a bearing. I mean, it should be correct because it's clearing it. Usually you'll see where it sits too low. It doesn't really necessarily center on this. The older ones, the bearing centers on it, but this style bearing centers off this pocket. See how it sits nice, can't really move anymore. You grab a different style one of these, it'll be all sloppy. But I still have to check it. But it looks like that the actual ring gear is okay, the hub is okay. A little loose, probably torsionally missing the teeth. Let's get this off here and check. Yeah, the teeth are almost completely gone. Needs the hub, the ring gear. Let's see how bad it rubbed into it. It was rubbing a little here. It's really not enough to really cause a problem. It's not into the lug tower, so the ring gear's still okay. The hub, because of this, the teeth being chewed off running through here, if you look, you can see. What is it, about a half? Let me hold it up a little better. It's almost half of the tooth right there. You can see where they're all indented into it. This is caused from going reverse to drive without coming to a stop. You'll chew this out. So it needs the input hub as well. Yeah, like I said, almost need a core for this thing, man. It's pretty hurt. The output shaft, it definitely needs an output shaft. That's finished, can't use that. Can't fix it either. The shell, it's a cheap aftermarket one. It's not a monster, not a beast, not a Sonex. It is heat treated in here. The splines look okay. It's just a basic, like, you know, $70 shell when you're doing a build. Let's see, what do we got? Did we put a wide bushing? Probably not. Standard bushing. Gear looks okay. There's some of this stuff. See if I can get it down into here. Do they have the snap ring? I mean, it's all right, I guess. A little off where I would place it, but and now I gotta put this shaft back in to pop that loose. God, maybe. Unless it's rotated in there. That thing went flying. Yeah, see, it's rotated in the case, and the common issue, you're probably not going to be able to see it on camera, but the center support has rotated, and the clunk spring has to have its pressure relieved off of it in order to get the center support out. So I'm just putting this long screwdriver here. I'm going to hit it right on the clunk spring that's bent. I'm going to bend it the rest of the way over to take all the pressure off of it. And then I should be able to get this center support out. There. So now there's no more tension on it. And then it just comes right out. That's where you'll see people dropping these on the floor and stuff like that. You don't need to do that. You just gotta hit that clunk spring like I did and deform it. Let's get the rest of it out of here. I'll go over it here. Now that's stuck. Did the clunk spring fall behind it? No. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, see, because the clunk spring, all I did was, it's sitting in there like that, right? Let me show you. So this is down in there. This is sitting in here like this. And see, but this is where I bent it. This was straight up. This little curve used to be straight. So it's keeping rotational tension on it. But the lugs are hurt down in the case a little bit because it cut the lug towers and this got behind it, each notch, so you couldn't get it out without bending. I don't use these, I always put a case saver in. So, the Sprag, I mean, it's the new style. So, I mean, it should be, you know, that's what should be in it, but who knows if it's the original to it. I can see that they did not use an original for the input Sprag, so I'm going to assume they didn't even bother to replace this either. Well, that's because I hit it on there, but yeah, junk anyway. I'll put a new one in it. Got our bearing. Ooh, awfully grindy. All the metal. I'm going to say it needs all new Torrington bearings. Let's see if the planet's at least any good. Still feels good. Splines look okay. Check it with this. No side wobble from the splines. See if my bearing down here is grindy. Just put the sun gear in it and then push it down and you'll feel it. It's a little iffy, man. And you have to press the pin out to replace, you have to press the pins out to get the bearing out, or just replace the planet. But the gears, there's no side wobble to the gear, so that's good. Is that ground? No, it's still good. Looks like crap though, but it's still good. The output ring gear and hub, it's the new design. So planet's okay, rear ring gear's okay, race is okay, sun gear's okay. Let's restack it for the parts washer. Let's check our low and reverse clutch pack. Boy, she got hot there, man. It's probably running low on fluid too. So if I had to guess, I'd say cause of failure is Sprag. Sprag didn't explode on the input Sprag, but we do have the planet that sheared off onto the output shaft, which, thinking. And definitely couldn't, it would have been really destroyed if that was the case. Unless it did hang up and lock when it's supposed to freewheel. Let me look at this Sprag a little closer. Sometimes you can see it if you, oh yeah. Now see, that should not have came out like that. I wasn't being hard, I'm just wiping this off so I can look at the elements a little better. with the light. Oh yeah, see, look at that. I don't know if it'll pick it up. If you look at the metal, see if we can get it to focus. I'm trying to look on the phone. You see where it's been catching on that element there? Watch, it'll probably come right out. Yeah. See the leading edge of the element? I mean, when they're real bad, you just shake it and they'll fall out, like I was doing with that low reverse one. But I did hit the center support, which, you know, caused it to come apart. But even hitting this one, it's not coming out. But when I was cleaning it, that one element just fell right out. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. Where's the race at? Oh yeah. You see it? Let me change the lighting. It's so hard to see on camera. There. You see the discoloration inside of that there? We don't have any hard bite locks where it's all chewed up. Still see minimal crosshatch, but it's definitely been dragging or not working correctly. You can see the total discoloration to it. Look at the inner race. I mean, it got so hot, man. Whew. Yeah, she's a nasty one, man. She's definitely gross. I mean, it needs a decent amount of hard parts. Like I said, it almost kind of needs a core, really. I'll talk to him, see if he wants to try and find one. We could use a, the only thing is I need the 05 possible and up pump. It just, the stator has to be cut, or I could install the correct stator on an earlier style pump. So, I mean, we'd probably get away with getting like the input shaft I can move over from the drum because of the reluctor on it. But it's definitely hurt pretty bad, man. It's kind of the worst one I've seen in a minute. The last couple units haven't really been all that bad. God, that's trying to get the case plug for the band out. God, it's just all that metal holding that in there. Ugh, nasty, man. She's a gross one. So yeah, I gotta just look all my parts up, come up with a game plan, talk to the guy and see what he wants to do, and just price it out for him. But it's definitely a pretty nasty build, or unit I should say. I mean, here's all the hard parts it needs. Let's get it all. I mean, it needs all this. Get that out of the way. It doesn't need that. Get this out of here. There we go. There's all the hard parts it needs. Let me get this off here. There's all the hard parts. Needs the reverse input drum, the input drum housing, both pump body and stator, and the stator tube, the input sprag complete, you know, with the forward and overrun hubs, the output shaft, that sprag, and of course the forward planet and the shell, the output shaft, the reaction carrier, and that sprag. So yeah, it's a pretty hurt unit. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and I got more coming. I got a 6L I got to get apart, got to get it out, but I'll be posting it once I get time to video it and stuff like that. But thanks for watching, everybody, and you know, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, and check back soon. Thanks, y'all.